Welcome to InvestEd.
Hello guys, welcome sa channel natin. Kung bago ka pa lang sa channel natin, huwag mong kakalimutan na i-subscribe and pindutin ang bell button para ma-notify ka sa mga bagong videos na lalabas sa channel natin. No? So dito, binabahagi ko yung 7 years of experience ko sa pag-trade at pag-invest ko sa stock market. And ang kagandahan pa dito, it's completely free. Maraming salamat. Okay, so umpisa na natin. See you on the other side. Welcome sa InvestEd. So ngayon, magre-reply tayo sa mga requests ng ating subscribers, no? Sige, so kung pupunta tayo sa ating YouTube channel, nakikita natin dito na may request na company si CLI and si CEVN, no? Or si 7, no? Yung company na re-reviewin natin ngayon. Ito ay requested ni Sir The Equalizer. Okay, and Mr. Tolentino. Okay, so ang request naman ay ang company 7, no? So ito yung ating re-reviewin na company. So guys, kung bago ka pa lang sa ating channel and first time nyo itong makita ng channel natin guys, so please paki-subscribe yung ating channel, no? Okay, yung first na re-reviewin natin ay ang company CLI or Cebu Landmaster Incorporated. So nakikita natin dito guys, yung last traded price ng company nasa 5.03 pesos per share, and yung ating intrinsic value ngayon sa company nasa 5.53, and ang ating margin of safety ay nasa 4.58 pesos per share. So nakita natin na nasa hold position tayo sa kanya because yung ating current price ay above na sa ating margin of safety, no? So kaya ang ating ratings ay nasa hold. And kung titignan natin dito yung summary ng moat, management, and debt analysis natin, so yung moat ay nasa average, while the management ay nasa 10, nasa excellent, while yung debt ng company ay nasa red zone, no? Nasa red flag ang company. Okay? So mamaya i-div tackle natin to moat, management, and debt analysis. Okay? So kung titignan natin dito guys, yung 1-year chart ng company, and kung titignan natin yung kanyang 52-week high ay nasa 5.50 pesos per share, and yung kanyang 52-week low ay nasa 3 pesos. And yung kanyang market capitalizations ngayon in million ay nasa 7.8 billion pesos. And nakikita natin dito guys, yung kanyang dividend yield ay nasa 4.97%. So nasa green siya, ibig sa top 25% of dividend payers itong company, no? And nakikita natin dito in last Friday, no? Nakikita natin yung kanyang yung pumasok na net foreign investment sa company nasa halos kalahating milyon, while the net foreign yield ng company in 1 year ay nasa negative 232.9 million pesos na lumabas naman na mga net foreign investors sa company na to. Now, kung titignan natin guys, yung kanyang earnings per share versus free cash flow per share, na andito tayo sa stage na ayaw nating makita kapag nagre-review tayo ng stocks, na negative yung kanyang free cash flow per share, but merong earnings per share ang company. Anong ibig sabihin nun? Ang ibig sabihin nito, guys, it's either merong problema ang company or binuboost ng company yung kanyang fundamentals para maka-attract ng mga investors. That's a red sign, no, para sa atin. Titignan natin dito guys, yung kanyang free cash flow yield ay nasa negative 42%. So, in terms of free cash flow yield alone, sinasabi dito na ang company ay overvalue in terms of free cash flow yield alone. So, bakit natin nasabi, no? Kasi, ang gusto natin makita, no, na kapag nagre-review tayo ng stocks ay nasa 10% pataas yung kanyang free cash flow yield. So kapag nasa 10% pataas, sinasabi doon or sinasabi sa atin na nasa solid business ang company and undervalue in terms of free cash flow yield alone. Okay? Okay na, kung i-scroll down natin itong company, kung titignan natin yung free cash flow ng company for the past 5 years, negative, no? Walang positive. That's para sa mga fundamental analysts, no, or sa mga investors na ginagamit yung fundamentals, that's a negative sign para sa mga potential investors or investors ng company. Kung titignan natin yung moat ng company, no, nakikita natin na kanyang earnings per share ay nasa 17%, while the cash from operating activities ay nasa 100%, net income ay nasa 36%, the book value per share nasa walang data, no? So, is either negative yung kanyang 2015 and nag-positive yung kanyang 2019 or positive yung kanyang 2015 na nag-negative yung kanyang 2019 naman. So, ayun yung dalawang scenario na tinitignan natin dyan. Okay, so kung titignan natin dito guys, yung kanyang management, nakikita natin dito yung kanyang ROIC. Over the years talagang okay naman, no? Okay naman. And yung kanyang return on equity, okay, stable naman. Kung i-scroll down natin yung kanyang debt to earnings ratio, nakikita natin over the years, nag-grow yung kanyang debt to earnings ratio. Yun ang ayaw nating makita, na nag-grow yung kanyang debt to earnings ratio. And nasa 7.1% ay nasa 7.1 debt to earnings ratio ang company. So, anong ibig sabihin nitong debt to earnings ratio? Sa mga hindi pa nakakalam guys, no? So, ang ibig sabihin nito, gaano katagal mababayaran ng company yung kanyang long-term debt gamit lamang yung kanyang net income. Ang gusto natin makita, 3 years pababa lang. Pero dito, nakikita natin na nasa 7.1 years nila kayang bayaran yung kanyang long-term debt gamit lamang yung kanyang net income. That's a negative sign, no? Kasi sobrang tagal niyan. Ang gusto ko lang ay nasa 3 pababa. So, in overall, itong debt to earnings ratio and debt analysis natin, ang sinasabi lang sa atin dito ng debt to earnings ay malaki yung kanyang interest expense na kinikater itong company na to. Okay, so let's take a look more deep sa kanyang financial. Kung titignan natin dito, yung kanyang PE ratio annually ay nasa 4.16, while the PE ratio ng company in trailing 12 months ay nasa 4.38. So, sinasabi sa atin dito guys na PE ratio, no, na the PE ratio of a company in trailing 12 months is a poor value based on its earnings PE ratio in annually na meron lang 14.16. Okay? Yun yung sinasabi sa atin dyan. And kung titignan natin guys, yung kanyang price to sales, nakikita natin na nasa 0.95 yung kanyang price to sales in trailing 12 months, and yung kanyang price to sales in annually ay nasa 0.92. And kung titignan natin also, yung kanyang price to book ratio annually ay nasa 1.08, while yung kanyang price to book ratio in quarterly ay nasa 0.94. So nakikita natin dito na mas mababa yung kanyang price to book in quarterly kaysa sa kanyang annually. So sinasabi dito sa atin ng price to book na nasa undervalue ang company in terms of price to book ratio alone. Okay, so let's take a look naman yung kanyang financial strength. Kung titignan natin dito, yung free cash flow ng company in annually ay nasa negative 3.5 billion pesos negative free cash flow ang company. And let's compare free cash flow ng company in trailing 12 months. So, nakikita natin na mas malaki pa yung kanilang free cash flow negative, no? Nasa 4.9 billion pesos free cash flow na ang company. So, sinasabi sa atin dito na nag-worsen yung kanilang free cash flow, no? So, nakita natin na may pandemic pa. Yan, nakita natin na apektuhan itong company, and also kaya nakita natin nag-worsen itong free cash flow also ng company. Now, let's take a look yung kanyang current ratio. So, sinasabi sa atin ng current ratio, wala naman silang liquidity problem. 2.5 times kanilang punan yung kanyang current liabilities gamit yung kanyang current assets. Okay, so nakikita natin. Now, let's take a look current ratio annually to the current ratio quarterly also. Kung titignan natin yung current ratio niya in quarterly ay nasa 2.33. So, nakikita natin na bumababa yung kanyang liquidity. So, and also, no, nakikita natin nasa 2.33. Okay, so kung nakikita natin dito guys, yung kanyang debt to equity in annually ay nasa 220.83% debt to equity. That's a very, very high debt to equity, no? So, bakit natin nasabi na high yung kanyang debt to equity? Kasi gusto natin makita kapag nag-analyze tayo at nagre-review ng stocks, yung debt to equity ay nasa 40% pababa lang. Pero dito sa company na to, no, nasa 220.83%. So, anong ibig sabihin nito? At ano ang sinasabi sa atin ng debt to equity? In every 1 peso na ginagamit ng company sa kanyang operations, 220.83% ay financed by utang. So, talagang above pa siya sa 100%, no? So, yun ang ito yung negative side sa company. And now, kung i-compare natin yung debt to equity ng company in a quarterly basis, nakikita natin dito na nasa 290.75% na. That's a negative sign, no, sa mga potential investors or investors ng company. Okay, now let's take a look yung kanyang margins. Nakikita natin dito guys, yung kanyang margin in annually ay nasa 49.4%, comparing to the gross margin in trailing 12 months ay nasa 49% naman. So, hindi masyadong gumalaw yung kanilang margin, no? That's a good sign, no? Kahit papaano, yung margins nila ay mataas. Now, comparing to the net profit margin na company in annually ay nasa 28.68%, and yung net income and yung kanya net profit margin in trailing 12 months ay nasa 26.6%. So, nakita natin na medyo bumaba yung kanyang net profit margin in trailing 12 months compared sa kanyang annually. Now, ang sinasabi sa atin dito na net profit margin, no, sa mga bago pa lang sa pag-i-invest, okay, so in every 1 peso na nabebenta ng company or sales ng company, 26.6% nun ay kita na nila. Or sa bawat benta ng company, magkano ba ang tubo ng companies? Nakikita natin na nasa 26.6% trailing 12 months and 28.68% in annually. Okay guys, kung gusto nyo explore yung ibang metrics na company, so nandito pa. Okay, so nandito naman yung mga metrics. So kayo na ang bahala dito guys. Okay. Okay, now in additions, no, sa kanyang financial, nakikita natin dito yung free cash flow na company growth rate ay nasa 94%, while the earnings per share nasa 17%, yung equity ay wala tayong walang informations, pero kung titignan natin dito guys, yung kanyang total equity, ayan, from 2015 to 2016, wala, no? Pero kung titignan natin dito yung kanyang 2017 and 2019, nag-grow naman yung kanyang total equity. Titignan natin yung earnings per share, nasa 17% growth rate in 5 years. Sales ay nasa 45% growth rate in 5 years. And yung ROIC, no, ang ROIC ay wala tayong informations also. And now, let's take a look sa kanilang revenue. Okay naman yung kanilang revenue for the past 5 years is still growing and continues to grow. And nakita natin over the years nag-grow yung revenue nila, while the net income kasabay din na nag-grow. Okay? That's a positive sign. And this is the income statement, total revenue and total income na company comparison. Ayan. And kung titignan natin ito guys, yung balance sheet naman ng company over the years, comparing to the total assets and total liabilities, nakikita natin dito guys na significantly nag-grow yung kanilang debt, no? Yung total debt nila. Ayan. Okay? And this is the free cash flow ng company for the past 5 years. Ayan. Talagang negative lahat. While the cash from operating activities, negative din also, no? Okay, na in terms of value ng company, so nag-update na siya ngayon, pero yung value ng company nasa overvalue ito, while the dividend ng company nasa high dividend naman ng company and pay dividends, and yung moat ng company nasa average and low moat or low moat, while the debt ng company ay nasa medium or high level of debt. Okay, nakikita natin ng pagre-review, talaga nasa high level of debt itong company. While yung management ay nasa excellent management naman ng company, no? So talagang binavalue naman ng company yung kanilang mga investors. So overall, nasa hold positions tayo dito sa company ngayon, no? So kay Sir Equalizer, no? So ito yung informations and data and review ko sa company. Okay, so sana may napulot kang information sa company and sa pagre-review natin ng company na to. Kasi susunod natin na re-reviewin ay ang company Philippine 7 Corporations. So, ito ay requested ni Sir Tolentino. Kung titignan natin dito guys, yung kanyang last traded price ay nasa 106, while yung ating intrinsic value sa kanya ay nasa 11.28 lang. So bakit sobrang laki ng difference, no? Guys, ang kinukuha ko kasi dito na intrinsic value ay nasa earning base tayo, no? Kung ano yung pinuproduce ng company every quarter. Yun ang kinukuha natin kasi yun yung track record na meron sila. So, yung track record na meron sila. So, doon tayo nagbe-base. So, hindi tayo muna nagbe-base dito sa future bagkos, doon tayo sa actual na pinuproduce nila na income. So, kaya nakikita natin na super overvalue ang company. But, if you have a different kind of computation ng intrinsic value, it's up to you guys, no? Kung paano nyo siya gagawin. Pero, para sa akin, as investors na ganito ang ginagawa ko na sa earning base ako, ito yung focus ko, no, yung earnings ng company kasi yun naman talagang basihan talaga ng company, no guys. Ito yung mga pinagbabasihan ng lahat ng fundamentals, investors, and many more, no, yung earnings ng company. Tignan natin dito, yung kanyang moat ay nasa 8, while yung management ay nasa 9, yung debt ng company ay nasa average, no, nasa 7. Okay? Kung titignan natin dito guys, yung kanyang 1-year chart ng company, yung kanyang 52-week high ay nasa 158, while yung 52-week low ay nasa 106. Okay? And yung kanyang market capitalization in million ay nasa 8.1 billion na to, no? 8.1 billion yung kanyang market capitalization ng time na ina-analyze natin itong company. And meron siyang net foreign investment for last Friday sa 1.37 million pesos. And net foreign yield na negative 17.2 pesos net foreign investors. A look sa kanilang earnings per share versus free cash flow per share. So nakikita natin na mas malaki yung free cash flow per share ng company. So that's a positive sign, no, na ang ibig sabihin lang nito na sobrang dami ng cash, there's a pile of cash meron ng company. So, pag merong pile of cash ang company, there's a chances na pwede pang mag-improve ang company. Now, kung titignan natin yung free cash flow yield ng company, ay nasa 6%. So, sinasabi sa atin dito ng free cash flow yield naman, overvalue ang company in terms of free cash flow yield alone. Okay? Okay, so, kung titignan natin yung kanyang free cash flow for the past 5 years, talagang nag-grow naman yung kanyang free cash flow, no? Ay nakikita natin yung kanyang negative free cash flow lang noong 2015 and the rest talagang continues to grow na until 2019 na nasa 5 billion na yung kanyang free cash flow. That's a good sign, no, sa mga investors. Okay, that's a good sign. Now, let's take a look yung moat ng company. Kung titignan natin dito, yung book value per share ay nasa 17, net income ay nasa 7, cash from operating activities ay nasa 15%, ay nasa 35%, while the earnings per share ay nasa 8%. Kasi yung pinakamababa nilang growth rate sa moat ay nasa 7%. Okay, so nasa good naman yung kanyang moat. Now, titignan natin yung kanyang management analysis naman. Nakikita natin na over the years, yung kanyang ROIC ay bumababa but still, nabibigyan niya naman ng maayos yung kanyang investors and compared to the return on equity, nakikita na naman natin na bumababa also but nabibigyan niya naman ng maayos yung kanyang mga investors. That's a good sign, no, sa mga investors ng company. Okay, now let's take a look sa kanilang debt to earnings. Nakikita natin dito yung kanyang debt to earnings ratio ngayon in 2019 nasa 4.9. So medyo mataas yung kanyang debt to earnings ratio. So ang gusto na natin makita kasi dito guys ay nasa 3 pababa lang yung kanyang debt to earnings. So sinasabi sa atin dito na merong interest expense na kinikater ngayon ng company. Na kung titignan natin yung kanyang PE ratio annually ay nasa 55.5% lang, while yung PE ratio ngayon ng company in trailing 12 months ay nasa 479.33. That's a super high PE ratio now, no? Okay? And yung price to sales na company nasa 1.67% in annually, while the price to sales na company nasa 1.9 price to sales in trailing 12 months. So maganda tignan niya na nag-improve yung kanyang price to sales. While yung kanyang price to book ratio naman, nakikita natin na nasa 9.98 annually yung kanyang price to book. While yung price to book in quarterly ay nasa 11.1 price to book. So, nasa overvalue ang company in terms of price to book, no? Kasi ang gusto lang natin makita dito, guys, sa price to book ay nasa below 1 lang yung price to book. But dito, nakikita natin na over 1 yung kanilang price to book. Kung titignan natin dito, guys, yung kanyang dividend yield for the past 5 years ay nasa 0.38% average in 5 years. And yung kanyang dividend yield in trailing 12 months ay nasa 0.28%. Now, kung titignan natin dito, yung kanyang free cash flow ng company in annually ay nasa 4.6 billion pesos annually. Let's compare free cash flow ng company in trailing 12 months. So, nakikita natin dito yung free cash flow ng company in trailing 12 months ay nasa 1 billion na lang yung kanyang free cash flow in trailing 12 months compare sa kanyang annually na nasa 4.69 billion pesos. So, nakikita natin na bumababa yung kanyang free cash flow in trailing 12 months. And also, nakikita natin dito yung current ratio ng company ay nasa 0.93 and yung current ratio ngayon ng company ng quarterly ay nasa 0.9 current ratio. So, sinasabi sa atin dito na current ratio na 0.9 times kanilang punan yung kanyang current liabilities gamit yung kanyang current assets. Okay? And kung titignan natin dito, guys, yung comparison ng debt to equity ng company annually ay nasa 116%, while yung kanyang debt to equity in quarterly ay nasa 153%. So nakikita natin dito na nag-i-increase yung kanilang debt to equity, no, in a quarterly basis. That's a negative sign sa company na nag-i-increase yung kanilang debt to equity. Okay, so sinasabi dito sa atin ang debt to equity na in every 1 peso na ginagamit ng company sa kanyang operations, 153% nun ay financed by utang. So, over 100% yung kanyang ginagamit. So, that's a negative sign sa kanyang fundamentals and sa kanyang debt to equity. Okay? Now, let's take a look sa kanyang margins. Yung kanyang margin annually ay nasa 28.46% and in trailing 12 months ay nasa 26.49%. So, nakikita natin na bumababa yung kanyang gross margin. Now, compared to the net profit margin ng company annually, nasa 3%, while ngayon, in trailing 12 months, ay nasa 0.39% na lang. That's a negative sign, no, na significantly nag-shrink down yung kanyang net profit margin. So, again, yung net profit margin, ito yung sa bawat piso na benta ng company, magkano ba ang tubo ng company? Okay, so nakikita natin dito in trailing 12 months ay nasa 0.39% na lang. Okay, so nag-shrink down yung kanilang net profit margin. Okay, so in addition sa kanyang financials, nakikita natin dito naman na yung kanyang equity nasa 14%, earnings per share nasa 8%, sales ay nasa 16%, ROIC ay nasa negative 17%. So, dito no nakikita natin na sa Big 5 medyo dito nakikita natin no mayroon silang negative. Compare natin dito yung total revenue and total net income na company, nakikita natin na sobrang laki ng difference. That's a negative sign, no, that's a negative sign na sobrang laki ng margin ng net income ay sobrang laki ng margin ng revenue or ng sales versus sa kanyang net income. So ayokong makita yung ganito, no? And kung titignan natin yung kanyang balance sheet naman, nakikita natin significantly nag-grow yung kanyang total debt natin, yung kanyang total assets talagang nag-grow over the years and nag-grow din. Cash flow na company, yung kanyang cash from operating activities na company over the years nag-grow also, while the free cash flow na company also ay nag-grow. Okay, so in summary and in conclusions ng ating pagre-review sa company, no, yung nakita natin sa company in terms of value, nasa overvalue ang company. In terms of dividend, nasa medium or low dividend yield ng company. In terms of debt, nasa medium and high level of debt ang company. While in terms of management, nasa excellent management naman ng company. And also in terms of moat, nasa average or low moat ang company. And in addition, no, nakikita natin dito guys yung technical analysis natin sa company from MA200 to MA20, nakikita natin na puro bearish ang signal sa atin from simple to exponential moving average. And nakikita natin dito guys yung weekly date return ng company nasa negative 2.75%. Year-to-date gain ay nasa negative 25.35%. Month-to-date gain ay nasa negative 2.75%. Okay, nakikita natin dito yung support and resistance ng company. And yung short-term trend, nasa downtrend. Medium-term trend, nasa sideways tayo. Okay, and in terms of indicators na company, nakikita natin nasa bearish. Ang majority of indicators sinasabi na nasa bearish ang company. Okay? So guys, dito na lang muna matatapos yung ating pagre-review sa company. Okay, so maraming salamat sa mga nag-request ito kay Sir Tolentino and Sir Equalizer, no? So maraming salamat sa inyo sa susuporta, and as always, invest wisely and see you on the other side. Hello guys, maraming salamat sa panonood. Sana marami kayo natutunan sa video na to. So kung hindi pa kayo nakaka-subscribe, so please subscribe and hit the notification bell para updated kayo sa mga videos na parating at marami pa kayong matututunan sa channel na ito. So maraming salamat.